Hello friends, this is video lecture 2 for human respiratory system. In previous video lecture, we already discussed about the first part that was based on human respiratory tract. So under human respiratory system, we discussed there are two parts. The first was human respiratory tract and second human respiratory organ. So this video lecture is about human respiratory organ. So again, very sharp, very quick revision about human respiratory tract, what portion we cover under this. So here first we started with external layer or nostrils. This one open in nasal chamber or cavity, that is nasal passages. After that there was internal layers or internal nostrils, then pharynx, then larynx. After larynx, this is elongated tubular structure, that is trachea, which carries cartilaginous C-shape structure. We discussed that this is made by hyaline cartilage, and this cartilaginous C-shape structure is incomplete, or this ring-like structure is incomplete towards the posterior part, that is towards food pipe or esophagus. After that, here we discuss this trachea just bifurcated into two fine tubes that are known as bronchi, and here we discuss this bifurcation of trachea occurs at T5. What was T5? So this is thoracic vertebrae number 5, that is just parallel but posterior to trachea. After trachea there will be food pipe, and after food pipe there will be vertebral column. So this T5 is very important. This is the region where this trachea divides into two primary or principal bronchi. After that there is next structure that we have to discuss here in this video lecture. This is about human respiratory organ. So what is here in human respiratory organ? The structure is just given before you. So human respiratory organ is about a pair of lungs, that is spongy, very soft, delicate structure which are located in thoracic cavity. What is the location? So this is located or present in thoracic cavity in a very airtight chamber. How this airtight chamber is formed? So just if we discuss here, in front of our body, that is ventral side, the abdominal surface is known as ventral side, and here at mid region or mid ventral region of our body there is a bone. This is known as sternum. This bone is sternum, also known as breastbone. Second, this is just back to the body parallel to this sternum. This is known as vertebral column. Vertebral column, or in short backbone. Now on the lateral side these are ribs. These are ribs. So ribs originated from vertebral column and connected anteriorly to this sternum or breastbone. So what is the number of ribs? This is very important. So there are 12 pairs of ribs, or we can say 24 in number. 12 pairs means 12 from each side of the vertebral column, and they are getting connected in the anterior side of body, that is sternum. Here there are three categories of this: 7, 3 and 2. Just for a very quick revision, this 7 is known as true ribs, this 3 is known as false ribs, and the last two, they are known as floating ribs. These are known as floating ribs. So why this 7 or 7 pair is true ribs? Because after their origin from this vertebral column, they are connected with sternum directly. while the next three, this is 8th, 9th and 10th pair, this is connected with the 7th ribs and indirectly with the sternum. So these three pairs connected with the 7th ribs directly but indirectly by sternum, that's why they known as falls. And the last two pair, two from each side of the vertebral column, they are actually incomplete. They never comes anterior to the body. They are very small in size, that's why they known as floating ribs. So this is about ribs. And after ribs, the fourth one is diaphragm. This is diaphragm. So now location wise, sternum, this is anterior to body, vertebral column, this is posterior to body, ribs, they are lateral in orientation, means on the both side of lungs, and diaphragm, this is just ventral or downside, downward or ventral, this is better to say downside. So this is here diaphragm, a muscular flap structure that is very helpful in breathing activity. So these are the structures which makes the thoracic region very airtight. So if any change occurs in this thoracic cavity, the same change is also reflected on the both lungs. So this is about the location. Here 2 points that are very important. So first, this is here about the space that you can see in between both lungs. This space is known as mediastinum. This space is known as mediastinum. So this surface of lung, that is towards heart or towards the space, this is known as mediastinum surface. That is concave. This is concave in structure. Second, that is towards ribs on both sides. This is covered by ribs. That's why this is known as costal surface. This is known as costal surface. And last, the third one, which is towards diaphragm, this is lower side, so this is known as diaphragmatic surface. Diaphragmatic surface. So these are the three ends or oriented region of lungs. Now further, if we discuss about the lungs, so externally each lung is covered by two membranes. These membranes are known as pleural membranes. Here in this one you can see the outer one and inner one, both these along with each known as pleural membrane. The outer one is known as peritoneal membrane or peritoneum. This is peritoneal membrane, this is the outer one, and the inner one is known as visceral membrane. Inner one is known as visceral membrane. These two membranes, both we discuss here, is known as pleural membrane. There is a cavity in between the membranes. Here this cavity is known as pleural cavity, and this cavity is filled by a fluid that is known as pleural fluid. This is pleural fluid. This pleural fluid is of very much importance. What is the role of this pleural fluid? So this will helpful in contraction and expansion of lungs. When there will be inhalation, when there is inspiration, when air is just getting filled inside the lungs, then there will be widening of lungs, and when there will be removal of air from the lungs, then there will be shrinking of lungs. During this process, there may be friction in between the two membranes, and this pleural fluid is functioning as a lubricating substance. So this will provide frictionless movement in between the membranes. Second thing, this also functions as a shock absorber. So if there is any kind of injury, that injury will be absorbed by this fluid, pleural fluid. This fluid also helpful for protection of lung from any kind of infection. So this is about external structure. Now here, after this is one and this is another one. Here this is a pair of lungs. Lungs also known as pulmons, we already discussed in previous lecture. So alternative name of lung is pulmons. Now here if we discuss externally, so there are three lobes, means this one is left and this is right lung and this one is left lung. Here this is right lung, you can see this is a little bit wider with respect to this and also longer with respect to this left one. So right lung is comparatively wider and larger with respect to the left one, and here this right one is divided into three lobes. There are three lobes in right lung. So this right lung carrying three lobes. What are these three lobes? This is superior lobe, this one is middle lobe ML, this one is inferior lobe IL, and these three lobes are just because of these two fissures. What are the fissures? So they are the region by which the lungs is externally divided into these lobes or chambers. This is horizontal fissure, this is horizontal, this one is longitudinal fissure. So these are the two fissures. Also there is a fissure here in the left side of the lung. This fissure is known as oblique fissure. Here this is actually internal sectional view, anatomical view, and here this is direct morphological view. So in anatomical view, what is present inside the lungs is also explained here. So just a very rough labeling is given here. This is about oblique fissure, and this oblique fissure divides this left lung into two parts. The upper one here, this is known as superior lobe, while the lower one, this conical part, is known as inferior lobe. So these are the two parts of lobe. Now here we discuss this region is known as mediastinum. This mediastinum is a chamber or a space that is present here in between the lungs, and through this there is just passage of esophagus or food pipe that is just parallel to this trachea or windpipe, as well as a number of structures like blood vessels, neurons, they are also located here. And the most important thing is about heart. So heart is located here, and this point of left lung is conical just because of the tip of heart oriented towards this. So this conical region here is known as cardiac notch. Cardiac term is for heart, so this is known as cardiac notch. Now about this is about the external structure. Now about the internal one. So here this is trachea or windpipe divided at T5 into primary bronchi. As soon as this primary bronchi enters inside the respective lungs, like right and left lung, then they will further bifurcated or divided into the respective bronchi, like secondary bronchi, that also known as lobar bronchi, as well as tertiary bronchi, that also known as segmental bronchi. And these bronchi further divided into very fine tubular structure that is known as bronchioles. So there is initial bronchiole, terminal bronchiole, respiratory bronchiole, and then alveolar duct as well as alveoli. So here there is huge surface area because of all these structures. So first the particular site, this site or region where this bronchi enters inside the lungs is known as hilus or hilum, or we can say hilum. So what is hilus or hilum? This is the site where primary bronchi of each lung is just getting entered inside, and this is also the site for entering of blood vessels as well as a number of neurons. Now what are the structures related with each bronchi? So here after trachea this is bronchi. Bronchus is singular, bronchi is plural. So here there are three types: primary, then secondary. Primary is principal, secondary is lobar, and this is tertiary, that is known as segmental bronchi. Now this segmental bronchi or tertiary bronchi is just divided into fine structures that are bronchioles, and again here there are three types. This is initial bronchiole, then terminal bronchiole, and finally respiratory bronchiole. And after this the next one is alveolar duct, and finally this is alveoli. That also known as acini. Alveoli or alveoli is plural, alveolus is singular. So acinus singular, acini plural. If we discuss about the total number of alveoli, this is nearly 300 million in both lung. 300 million in both lungs. So this is about the number. We will further discuss about this, but before this, here these are the structures. So from here up to bronchiole, from trachea up to bronchiole, or especially we can go up to this terminal bronchiole. And before trachea, what we discuss, there is larynx, before larynx pharynx, and then external internal layers as well as nasal cavity. All they are forming conducting part of respiratory system. This is only involved in conduction of air. There is no gaseous exchange. While from here onward, this respiratory bronchiole, alveolar duct and alveoli, these three are forming just here. This is conducting part, and these three are forming respiratory part of lung, or respiratory part of respiratory system. So actual gaseous exchange occurs here in respiratory bronchiole, alveolar duct and alveoli. These are alveoli that are just irregular ball shaped or empty ball shaped or balloon like structures. We can say they are just appearing like bunches of grapes. Now one thing that is very important from exam point of view, so here we discuss over this trachea there is presence of cartilaginous C-shaped ring, and this ring is continuous up to initial bronchiole. This ring like structure is continuous from trachea up to this initial bronchiole. Terminal bronchiole is free from that cartilaginous. This is hyaline cartilage. So hyaline cartilaginous structure. So this is limited here up to initial bronchiole. Terminal bronchiole is the structure that is free from, but this is a common point where this is similar like respiratory part. Why? Because there is no cartilaginous ring. This also is similar like conducting part. Why? Because this one is not involved in respiratory exchange. This one is like conducting part. So these are the structures. Now about alveoli. This is single cell thick layer, and this single cellular layer is squamous epithelium, and this squamous epithelium or alveoli all around surrounded by blood capillaries, and this blood capillaries layer is also single layered. This is also single layered, and here the covering is known as endothelium. So this endothelium of blood capillary and this squamous epithelium of alveoli, they are in very close contact, and the thickness of both alveolar squamous epithelium and blood capillaries endothelium. Just for example, here this is a single alveolus, and around this alveolus this is about blood capillary, and here this is about the thickness, this is about the tubular structure of blood capillary. Through this there will be conduction of blood. So if we find the thickness of this particular region, this will be less than 1 millimeter. That's why they are very hugely involved in gaseous exchange. This is very thin, less than 1 millimeter. That's why they are very helpful in gaseous exchange by the process of diffusion. Now next thing, as we discussed earlier about the number of alveoli, this is 300 million in each lung. So when we just take each alveoli and open this, so this will cover a surface area like 80 meter square. The surface area what will be occupied by the total alveoli which are present inside the lungs, this will be 80 meter square. While if we discuss about the surface area of skin, that is of body, this is nearly 1.6 meter square. So here there is huge surface area by the alveoli, and that's why this alveoli is sufficient for gaseous exchange of human body part. This is nearly 45 to 50 times greater with respect to the surface area of skin. So that's all for this video lecture, and if you like this then please share, comment and also subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Stay connected, stay tuned for the next more coming videos.